Hey all, I'm just doing a little update today. Just kind of showing what I did as far as cleanup's concerned. All this wood right here is now all at the end of the driveway. It's kind of just moved, but most of it was just kind of scrap and garbage. So I'm going to cut it down to length and then take it to the dump. And then the good wood we moved up to the carport and in the garage too. The really good wood over here. There's a bunch of 2x4s mostly. Took off the sawhorse and from underneath the sawhorse and put it in the garage over there, along with all the kitchen cabinets that were upstairs on the deck, and just cleared this whole area out because we're going to be jackhammering up this slab right here. You can see it, and I got to finish taking this little bit of brick off the top, and then this wall too. It's going to have to get taken down, but it is sort of bearing some weight right now. So I've got to get a couple of 6x6s and put them up here underneath all these joists, and put my two threaded jack stands, if you will, over here, and then the two bottle jacks right here with some more 4x4s holding up the other two places where I need them to, all the way out. So that post, this post right here is where the new slab will go to. So out right just past this post. So probably just to this joist here. That's all that I'm going to need to support with 4 different points. And I got to pull it in a little bit, which means I got to pull up this brick that's hard to see because it's covered with grass. So I got to move these windows, peel off this grass, and then probably use the same air hammer that I've been using for the brick to take up all that brick, and then get situated where everything is, all those 4 points that are jacked up are holding all this weight, so that I can take these posts out here and pour a new footer here, and then all the way along here, all the way to where that post is. And then once that new footer is poured, then we will actually put up a 2x6 wall all the way around on top of that footer, and then we will pour a slab that won't really be bearing any weight at all. It'll just be all on the footer. So there's some steps that need to be done, but first will be clear the grass, move the windows, take the brick up, and get ready to and then put up all the jack points so that this is ready to be jackhammered away, which will also be taking these 2 walls down. So that's kind of the nutshell there. Got a lot of stuff cleaned out here. I peeled the rest of this circuit that was left and just left a short wire to a plug, and then just ran an extension cord over here to the sump pump. And then there's still another plug open, which I'm running my extension cord for all the other things that I've been using. And trying to think what else. The last bit of wiring that was hanging from the walls I took out. So really the only thing left is to get the peel and stick flooring up. Eventually have the electric company disconnect from the weatherhead, and then we can take this service box out. But I'm not going to do that until we put the new meter in, and that will be in, let me go back here. It'll be back here in the new edition that we do. So as I said before, this post will be the edge. And so this spot right here, probably pretty much from that post to the edge of the current slab, will be a mechanical rim. So this is where our hot water heater will be, all the valves for the water, our networking box, and our breaker panel. And then the breaker panel will be on the outside or inside wall, inside of this exterior wall here. And then the meter will be on the outside, as long as the electric company will allow us. I don't know if we have to pay for it or if they'll do it, But if we can bury our line from the meter, that will go right here on the outside of this exterior wall, and then we'll have to trench down, I think 4 feet's code, over to, you can just barely see the power pole right there. So they have to come from here down and then pop up right here. And then eventually we'll pour a slab here for a patio. And then eventually from that patio, we'll pour a driveway. So I don't know if they allow that to be under all that concrete. It has to go through conduit or what. So, so it's pretty much just figuring that out, talking to the power company and seeing how that all works. But again, just for review here, the current way that power comes into the house is through a weatherhead. So this is our meter box currently. It's on the outside of the wall, and then the breaker box is on the inside. It goes up that pole, and then has it's called a drip loop. And then you've got your lines that go all the way out to the power pole. So this is a overhead power, and I just want mine to be underground, so I don't have to worry about any kind of bad weather or trees down or anything like that. And I don't have to worry about them coming on my property and trying to cut what they want to cut. So they still have to do that for the main line, unless I keep it, trimmed. If that's the case, then they don't have to come on property and do anything. Because the last time they came, they just kind of destroyed the front yard with their big giant tractor tires. It put huge ruts in the wet ground up here in the grass, and so every time I use the riding lawnmower, it's everywhere. And so anyway, I don't want that. And so that's the power. Again, you can see everything's pretty much all cleaned up out here. Still a couple remaining things, some trash bags. We got to recycle some metal, throw the styrofoam away, and this will be cut down to pretty much just the chicken stuff. And I'm keeping this pallet for the top of this feeder tank, because this is what we used when we first got chicks. And so eventually we'll get a bunch more chicks with a bigger coop, and so you kind of gotta raise them somewhere besides with the adult chickens, otherwise they'll get pecked and probably die. So anyway, so I'll be keeping this and that, and I just gotta find a place for those two things, probably up in the carport. And then again, these 2 windows need to go. I may sell them, I don't know, it's kind of a hassle, lots of time included. I invested, it has to go into selling things. And again, you can see the basement's all cleaned up. It's just got this one wire. I talked to somebody about evacuating this, and it would pretty much be, there's a disposal fee because the R22 Freon that's in here is no longer used because it's been deemed an environmental hazard. So it'd probably be, I don't know, 150, 200 bucks for them just to come and evacuate the machine or the system, whatever you want to call it. And then I would still have to do all the physical removal of the pipes and such, and the unit outside and the unit in here. But that would be a little bit of scrap metal money, so that's okay. And I think maybe I'm just gonna call around and see if somebody will come and evacuate this, but also if they can kind of look at our footprint and give us a little diagram, if you will, of how big our trunk needs to be for the main line for the ducting, and then how small the branches need to be based on how big the rooms are upstairs and downstairs. And then based on their recommendation, I'll build the ducting system, and based on what units they say we should use, both for the I cannot even remember the heat pump, there we go. So, which does both air conditioning and heating in the winter, and then the condenser outside for the air conditioning. So whatever they recommend. As far as there's BTUs and SEER, I think both of those things are what they use to measure how much heat and air conditioning that your unit needs to pump out. So anyway, again, this is kind of the rubble mess for the mortar, bleh, if I can talk. And so I need to get most of this gone, probably to the dump, and then I can get the remaining part of this firebox out, and then I can take down the remaining brick, which is only a couple rows there, for the the chimney, sorry, not the fireplace. And then I can figure out what this is. I don't know if this is one layer of brick over concrete or if it's just more layers of brick, just like the chimney. In that case, this is gonna be time consuming. But we gotta get this down to the ground level so that we can fill in this giant hole here, flush and nice. So anyway, that's part of what we gotta do. And then I'm just trying to view here quick from the last time, last week when I did my update. So I don't think much happened up here. I had the kids help me on Friday take the big corner cabinet out, all the doors and shelving, and then all the cabinets, the top and bottom cabinets that were out here. We got all those moved, and all the scrap wood and garbage and stuff that was up here too. I honestly can't even remember what it looked like up here from my last video, but I think that's it. I don't think I did much of anything else. I also talked to a glass place, and they will take these 2 panes, so that's good. I'll probably do that in the next day or two, and I think that's it over here too. Maybe I showed this, I don't know. I pulled the blackboard off of this upper area just because it's protected from the weather, so I figured might as well get a jump start on that. I can't really get this bottom stuff until I disconnect the deck and then pull off the lag bolts, and then I can get these last 2 runs of siding, and then I can pull the blackboard off, and then we can resheathe. But it's all just a, step by step, do one thing at a time. And I think I already said, along with jackhammering the addition slab downstairs, we also will be utilizing a jackhammer and doing this front porch area. And then I'm going to get 4 concrete deck, I don't know what you call them, blocks. So this post will go away. I'll put another post here and here. So that's the weight will bear on this, because that's where all the weight for the roof is sitting on, not really this front one. And then 2 over here as well that come down. So once I jackhammer all this concrete out, I'll tamp down the dirt and then put that concrete base in there, and then put a 4x4 up here on the front and the bottom, sorry, from the front and the back, that will hold up the deck roof. And it'll just sit like this, and this will be dirt. And then we can get back here to take care of this, I think it's called a rim joist. But anyway, it's well, it's buried right now behind the concrete. So we need to get to that to see if we can replace it, because it's pretty moldy and it's got some termite damage in it. So it'd be good to replace that before we button everything up. And plus this concrete that was poured it's pretty gnarly. It's just got, swirl marks all over, and is actually sloped. It's not flat. So we'd like to pour some new concrete here. And then when we redo the roof, we'll tear down this whole front porch here, because we want it to, instead of be peaked in the middle and come off sloped like this, we want it to slope from the main roof out, so we can get a whole long, not wraparound front porch, but just the front porch will be all the way across the front of the house. So that's what we're looking to do. So this is kind of prepping for the future. That's in essence what we'll be doing. And yeah, so I think that's the update for now. Again, I'll just be working mostly on the concrete stuff next. And then once I get the concrete slab done downstairs, and build the, let me back up. Once I get the old slab jackhammered out, all that concrete removed, and then dig the footers, pour the footers, and then stand up the exterior walls, which will also include raising the end of this deck, because I put a level on here this morning, both the roof and the joist in the bottom, and it's about an inch, or was it an inch and a half? No, it was an inch and a quarter. It's about an inch and a quarter per 6 foot drop this direction. So it's actually sloped, because the end, all the posts on this deck are sitting on those concrete blocks, and obviously have been slowly sinking over time. And not too bad over here, but that part of the deck on that side of the house, I measured, I think it's three inches, somewhere right around there, 3 inches per 6 foot. So for every 6 foot out, it's sinking 3 inches down. And you can even, looking from the front of the house out in the front yard, you can look at the ridge in the main house, and as soon as it gets to that roof that's over the deck, it goes and turns and goes down. So it's really badly sinking over there, but that's just the deck, so I'm not really concerned too much about that right now. We'll deal with that after we move in. But for right now, in order to get all of this, like this wall down and this wall down, we got to start with the footer, and then get this jacked up a little bit, and then get the exterior walls built. So then everything will be flat as far as this floor is concerned, and then all the weight will be distributed evenly, and then we can work on tearing out this wall and this wall, and rebuilding this exterior wall here. That's all going to be redone, because all the weight will be on this, not this exterior wall. We're going to put a beam right here, just a couple of 2x6s nailed together, and then it'll take all the weight off of this wall. We can pull this wall and then move this out so it's flush with the exterior wall and sitting on top of the exterior wall that we put down on the footer downstairs. And so the load bearing will actually be on those beams, or that beam, as opposed to this exterior wall, because in order to move it out, we got to shrink it and just have to reframe it anyway, so that it's flush with the rest of the house. And so in order for that beam to go in here and bear the weight, I don't want a 4x4 every 3.5 to 4 feet. I want an actual wall here, because that's going to be the exterior of the house. So we're going to actually increase the footprint of the upstairs by whatever that is, 6-7 feet. So this will get pushed all the way out. These windows will actually be in that wall instead of this wall. And then eventually we'll put a door out, and there'll be a deck that kind of goes out into the backyard, and it'll be a sort of a 2-story deck. And so we'll have a way to get out to that deck from the master, have its own little private 2nd-story deck, if you will. And then again, just as a reminder, where the new addition slab will go is right about here, where this line is here. So this exterior wall will get pulled out too, which means these rafters have to sit on something, as this wall will be no more. So we'll run another beam from there all the way to the exterior wall, which is another reason why I want to rebuild this wall, as it's, I don't know if I can get it to do it here, but it's not very sturdy. So amongst other things, there's a lot of things that are scary, like this rafter is just 2 pieces of 2x4. So it's not really, I mean, if you were to stand right there, it would just whoop, just sink right down. And the same thing with the outside. You can see the blue line right there at the end of my finger. And anyway, and then the ridge beam just ends right here, and here's the weight. And so there's just no ridge beam right here. And this ridge beam, there's no weight bearing down, it's just floating. So anyway, there's a lot of things that I want to redo here, framing wise, to get this so it's at least at the minimum of what it should be. And so those beams will come over from the exterior wall, and we'll put another set of 2x10s right here over to here, and then we'll put a stud pack here. So, and then we'll complete this wall because we're taking out this part so you don't hit your head as you go down the stairs. So this wall will be walled in, and at the end of that wall will be a stud pack, and those new 2x10s will go across here. So there'll be 4 total 2x10s across here. 2 of them will hold the weight of the original house, and then the other 2 will hold the weight of this addition roof by having a beam that runs here to the outside, and then 2 in the middle here that run to the outside, and then 1 over here that runs to the outside. So that'll actually be where the weight bearing is, and then we'll take down these 2x4s and put them the right direction so they'll match the rafters. So we'll have rafters and joists going the same direction like they do here in the original house. This is how it should be. I don't know why they did it that way. I'm not sure. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's that about covers it. That's the update for now. And as always, if you have any questions on anything that I talked about here, showed, or you think if I missed something, let me know and I'll go over it. All right, have a good day. Talk to you later.